What's up, guys? My name's Storm Morgan, and last month I drove all the way from Greensboro, North Carolina out to Ventura, California to pick up the Topo Toppers Badlander that you see in the truck behind me. The drive was insane. Drive time just from Greensboro, North Carolina out there to California was 36 hours. It ended up taking me about 2.5 days to get out there. I just really booked it out there, and I ended up on the way out sleeping in the back of the truck cab. I'm 6'2", so that was quite the squish, but now that I have the topper, I've got plenty of room, and it was well worth the drive. And if you're here just to see the actual Topo Topper Badlander walkthrough, I'll put a link in the description so you can go ahead and just skip ahead to that. But for a little background, before getting the truck, I actually had a 2015 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and that's what I use predominantly for all of my overlanding and a lot of my road trips. I actually did my first cross-country road trip in that car, and I loved it. It handled amazingly, it was good off-road, and it was a good daily driver. The only issue I had with that car is space. I've got 2 big dogs, and trying to camp in there with them was impossible. I tested out a side awning room and even one of the SUV tents that clips onto the back of the rear lift gate, and nothing really seemed to work. They were all kind of flimsy, a pain to set up. And because of that, I started researching camper shells like this, especially lightweight ones. Looked at the Go Fast camper for a while, then also the Project M by 4-wheel campers, and it just wasn't sold on either one. Go Fast campers, the wedge style, and then 4-wheel campers had an insane build time. The lead time was going to be over a year, and even then I still wasn't 100% behind the product. And then I happened to just find Topo Toppers. It came across one of my feeds and I was instantly sold. It was lightweight, it was a full pop-up in the square style or rectangle style, fully customizable, windows, solar, fans, everything like that, everything I was looking for. So ended up pulling the trigger on that this past, I think, December, and then it was ready here in June. So I drove out and picked it up, and it's been working like a dream. My road trip was 3 weeks in total. I spent a week in Ventura, just kind of hang out and exploring the area, and then on June 10th, the camper shell actually got installed. And from there, I spent 2 weeks living out of it. Went to Yosemite, spent almost a week doing all of Lake Tahoe, every portion, north, south, east, west. Then from there, going up to Truckee, then to Reno, Nevada, and then on from there to Utah and Wyoming before coming all the way back to North Carolina. So I tested it out fully. I slept in the top part when it actually pops up, and I also tried stealth camping in the bottom of the cab, and everything worked great. I'm super happy. It was well worth the drive. Like I said, I would do it again. But yeah, with that said, I'll go ahead and give you guys a walk around of the outside portion, and then I'll pop it up and show you what the inside looks like. So here we go. Okay guys, so here's a look at the features on my specific Badlander. To start out, I've got the slider window, and a nice feature on this is the bug screen on the inside, just so nothing can get in through there. Also, another thing that Thomas from Topo Toppers explained to me when I actually got out there to Ventura is the bug screen portion. That slider part will pop off, and you can use this as a hatch window. I don't think a lot of people realize that, so you could use it to actually reach in and get stuff or pass things in and out if you ever needed to. Then above that, you'll notice I've got the 2 awning brackets. I'm looking at getting a 270 awning from Overland Vehicle Systems, but that'll be a future project. But I wanted to go ahead and have those built into it just so I wouldn't have to deal with that later on. And you'll also notice these 2 latches on the top part as well. That's just keeping the actual tent portion down so it doesn't pop up while you're driving. And now I'll pop up top so you can take a look at my other additions. First one being solar, and by the looks of it, it needs to be clean. But yeah, just 100-watt solar up here. Behind that, I've got the Max fan that does the intake and the outtake. And then beside that, you'll see the L-track. And I'll be mounting roof racks here soon. On the back, you've got the fixed window and the lockable handles. And then on the driver's side, I kept things pretty simple. I just went with the L-track fixtures here. My plan is to actually put my traction boards across here and then also mount my shovel and my axe just for easy access on the outside. And then let me go ahead and pop this open, turn this one, and I'll give you a look at the inside. So this is how much space it has. And remember, so this is an F-150 and I've got the 6.5 foot bed. So I'm gonna have a bit more room, especially than a mid-size or your regular F-150. But yeah, plenty of space down here. And then you can see up top, I've got the bed is still fully deployed and I've got the panels there, but those pop out and I'll explain more on that in a second. And then here, yeah, one of my favorite features on here is the light switches. Really makes it feel like a home on wheels. But cool. So yeah, now I'll go ahead and pop the camper up fully so you can take a look at how that functions and then see space-wise how it is when it's fully deployed. And first things first, I need to go ahead and undo these latches. Grab these two before I forget. As you can see, super easy to get these on and off. I'm doing it with one hand right now. Cool. There you go, super easy to deploy. And when you're all the way up there, I don't even have any additional lift on the F-150, but you're almost 7 feet off the ground to start. All right, so let's jump back on the inside. Whew. Look at all that space. Pretty much a full-size bed up here. 2 windows. There's the fan I was talking about. And down there, that's just the plug for my lights and fan, and then also the solar charging. And that's where the wiring is feeding down. Now I also have the upper and lower lighting already installed. But yeah, super happy with this camper. All right, now, so to go a little bit more in depth, we'll start with this slider window, kind of show you how that functions. So super simple to open that up. And again, this portion you can pop out, like I said, and use as a hatch window. The back, I've also got another slider window. And the cool thing about this is that entire window will pop out for cleaning, which is super nice. And then again, the cords for my fan, lights, and then solar charge. And over here, the light switch for the upper and lower lights. Also, one other thing I want to call out is I love how on the full size trucks they do these brackets instead of the actual clamps, so they take up less space. That's something I didn't realize until I was out there in Ventura. And then again, coming up top, the first thing I want to call out are the aluminum panels that you actually use to lift up the tent portion. The really cool thing are these Molly panels that they have already installed, no added fee, just super convenient for attaching things to them. And there's the one in the back. And now to give you an idea on the bed, this is actually Velcroed together. Free up my other hand. So, bed comes apart like that. You can push that all the way back. And then here are the two panels that are actually removable. So you can pop these in and out, store them up there, put them down here, and that'll open up the entire truck bed so you can walk around more. And the windows, you've got your full rain cover and the 3 different layers there. So bug net, then the clear see-through, and then fully closed. And same on that side as well. And to give you a little explanation on how the opening and closing works, so you've got these 2 pieces to help push it up, and then the Velcro strap is what's actually just holding it in place, and that's the same on the back side. But setting it up and breaking it down is super easy. Okay. And just so you guys can get an idea of headroom in here, I'm 6'2" and I have a ton of clearance, almost 7 feet of clearance on the inside of the camper, which is amazing. That was another huge plus for me. And let me show you, if I jump up top, still a ton of headroom even sitting in the bed. Now, if I stretch out all the way, I'm gonna bump a little, but just kind of sitting relaxed, you've got no issues. Now, if you guys have any other questions or just want to see something that I didn't cover today, just let me know in the comments and I'm happy to go over that for you guys. But with that said, I'll go ahead and start breaking down the topper just so you guys can see how that looks as well. So to start, I'll undo this back part. And then also this one. There you have it. Super simple. It breaks down just as easily as it sets up. It only takes seconds, which is amazing when you're going to camp or leaving camp. Really have no complaints. Like I said, it worked like a dream when I was out west, and I'm looking forward to a lot more trips with it. Before I forget, I've got to give a huge shout out to Thomas and Katie from Topo Toppers. They made the entire experience out there amazing. Getting out there to Ventura, seeing the shop, seeing the entire warehouse, all the components and processes that go into building these toppers was incredible. And they even went above and beyond. They hooked me up with a t-shirt and stickers, so I was thrilled. I told Katie I felt like a little kid on Christmas waiting for my topper during the install. I dropped my truck off at 8 a.m. and by noon they'd already called me back with a pickup time, which was insane. I've had oil changes take longer than that. So they've got that process really dialed in. Thomas walked me through everything on the topper, all the different components of my specific model. He showed me how to open it and close it multiple times, and he didn't let me leave until I felt comfortable with every part of it, which was amazing. Beyond that, I mean, just hearing about his passion for these campers and how much time he spends improvising them, anything that isn't working perfectly to his needs, he'll go in and he'll improve until it's optimal. So he's always updating these, which is also cool to hear. Now, with that said, I've still got a lot to do on both my truck bed and my camper shell. From here, I want to actually seal the truck bed, seal the truck tailgate, and then put down bed rug, which I've already ordered, just to kind of clean up the back and add more insulation. From there, I'm going to be building out an L couch that'll also function as a slat bed. That way the dogs will have plenty of room to sleep down there. I'll also be putting in a kitchen, so a little sink, then a fridge and my solar generator as well. And on the outside, I still need to put up my traction boards, shovel, axe, mount the roof racks, and then also purchase and mount an awning. So I've got a lot to still do, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a long-term project, but I'm already excited with the topper. It's functioned perfectly on my first few weeks testing it out, and I've got a lot more trips planned with it. Now, this is my first ever YouTube video as well. I just wanted to go ahead and state that. So bear with me. I promise my videography and my sound quality will get better as I do this more. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. But I really appreciate you guys watching this. Thank you for all the time, and take care.